Who wants to live below their means? I want to live the best life I can possibly live. So I talk about this often. If I want to buy a new Ferrari, I first buy an asset, and the asset pays for the Ferrari. So I don't have a guilty thing, is that I have financial education. And you can have the same thing too. You just have to stop listening to those school teachers who are poor. You know, most school teachers, like my poor dad, very good people, but they're so terrified of making mistakes. They want a steady paycheck and they want a guaranteed pension. I don't think you can get rich from that point of view. So that's the only difference. It's a whole shift of mindset and education, but everybody can do it if you want to do it. I'm actually a very shy person, so learning how to sell was the hardest thing I could do. But if I hadn't spent 4 years learning how to sell, I never made it here, I never made it here. So every job is not so much for the high-paying job with job security. For not everybody. You know, most people should have job security, because they're not designed to be entrepreneurs. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then you better take this job and say, well, which way am I going to go? When you look at a job, you look at what can I learn more than how much can I make? And I think that's the biggest challenge. What makes something an asset or liability are the two most important words in business: cash flow. Which way is the cash flowing? So an asset, if money is flowing into your income statement, it's an asset. So my rich dad would say, if money is flowing into your pocket, it's an asset. If money is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. So the average person, they go out and they buy a house. They say, oh, it's an asset. But every month, it's flowing straight to the bank. So your money flows straight to the bank. Not that intelligent. You know, I want the money to flow from the bank to me. Or what they'll do is they'll buy a stock or a bond or a mutual fund, and it's an asset, and it flies straight to Wall Street. Not your asset, it's Wall Street's asset. And the third line, when you look under expense, first line is tax. So the average employee, like my poor dad, with a high-paying job, the money comes in, goes straight out the taxes and to the government. Makes sense? So when you get a job, first line, taxes. Second, mortgage to the bank. Third, your 401k or your IRA, straight to Wall Street. But you think they're assets. It's not, they're assets, but they're not your assets. So that's one of the big things my rich dad taught me, is you got to control your cash flow. You want the money flowing into your pocket, not out of your pocket. So the one last thing I'll show you here is this. This is the asset column. This is what rich dad worked for. He worked for assets. He didn't want a job. I still go home to Hawaii. I see my relatives, and they call me Bobby. Bobby, have you got a job yet? And I go, no, Auntie, I don't have a job. She goes, oh, too bad, you're unemployed. I said, yep. So their mindset is they've been programmed to be employees to work for the rich. The rich work for assets. The poor middle class work for money. Very different mindset. That's why the rich are getting richer.